Good afternoon, everybody. On this Mother's Day, I just thought I'd drop by and uh, say Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Yeah, actually, I'm in here working in the studio, messing around with some of the cameras, some of the new cameras, and also I'm working with the and writing a story in Texas Biker Radio or an article in texasbikerradio.org, which I will post here in a little bit after I've finished it up. Uh, it has to do with wearing cuts and the restaurants and uh, the the threats that are being made toward bars and restaurants slash bars to keep bikers out in certain cities around Texas, and I'm sure it's happening around the nation. Uh, our most recent deal is the some of the establishments in Burleson, Texas. It's quite interesting that they are using the threat uh, of calling the TABC and also harassing their customers. So we'll go to those areas and educate. We will educate those businesses on what their rights are when it comes to these police departments or police officers. I don't know who's encouraging that, but maybe we'll find out. Who knows? Maybe it's criminal code procedure 61.02. I may have to read through that again to see what other kind of things, other kind of mischief they may be up to when it comes to visiting these establishments and making threats at them. And we're going to have something to say about that when they do that. So that's what I'm working on right now. And there's another factor added to that. I'm not going to spoil it right here. You'll have to go read it at texasbikerradio.org. And it'll probably be posted within the next hour at texasbikerradio.org in the news section. So, uh, man, I want to say something about the uh, the kids out in Colorado. You know, we had that young man or actually several young men that jumped at the gunman, and one of them was killed. And the others who have spoken up so far have said, "Hey, uh, we decided we were not going to be victims, that we were going to take some kind of reaction." And as you always know, that I'm going to say that these are the true first responders. That's the people that are on the scene. The police departments and such, they're actually second responders. They show up after the fact. But anyway, these kids took some action, and they disarmed. Um, I don't know whether it was the shooter himself or was if it was his accomplice. Now, under what I understand, his accomplice is a juvenile, so they're not reported on him, I guess, until he gets classified and tried as an adult. Then that probably will change. But one of the things that happened out there, they had a vigil for that young man, and I don't have his name in front of me. I'm sorry. They had a vigil for that young man, and that vigil turned political. And those kids, many of them got up and walked out. They said when the vigil quit being about the young man that died and started being more about politics, they just felt that was wrong. They got up and left. And let me tell you, they are so right. And I hope this message makes it to them out in Colorado. I just want to say how proud we are that they stood up, took a stand, got up and walked out when unscrupulous politicians got involved. That makes me so proud. Maybe there's hope for young people that they see through what's going on and what these politicians are telling them, regardless of what side they're on. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. And oh man, let me see. Aunt Squirrely's back up there. Uh, so anyway, we're working on that. We're looking at the cameras. Got a new GoPro 7 uh, that I'm jacking with here. No, I'm not going to do a review on it. There's enough people out there that do that. Uh, Trying to find a good place to put it on my Street Glide where the film will not just get vibrated to death. Here lately, I've been wearing my GoPros on top of my helmet. And so it seems to be, my head seems to be a better platform than the motorcycle. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, actually, I got a gray deal here so I can tell it from my other GoPros. Oh, yeah, I got multiple ones. But we have all kinds of cameras here. I also have, we have a big, expensive camera, too, that we haven't used as much lately. But that's for making a full-length documentary, which Mel and I are thinking, well, we're fixing to put that in the works. It's going to be a documentary about Twin Peaks from our perspective, and it'll be about why we got involved. I know everybody knows the story, but then again, we don't know the story because not came out much during those trials. You know, our stuff is not to talk about the two clubs. Our part in this is to look at law enforcement and the courts and the way they behaved and what they are doing today. Now, during Twin Peaks, we exposed all the connections between all those judges. That is still there in Waco. That is still there. And it's that way in almost every county in Texas. I wouldn't give you 2 cents for all the prosecutors in Texas, with except maybe of one, and that's Barry Johnson that is in Waco now. You know, he did what he said he would do. He looked at the evidence and saw that the preponderance of evidence was not there to convict. And actually, Waco PD, they didn't want any more of it. The people in Waco and the potential for all of the lawsuits that are heading at them, they just trying to cut it all off at the pass. So we hit the nail on the head when we said there would not be any more trials in Waco. I think we said that about a month and a half before all the before it was finalized. And yet I hadn't talked to Barry Johnson since he won his race in Waco when I went down for the victory party that he didn't think he was going to have. That was quite interesting. It really was. And we'll be talking about that in the documentary. We'll be doing other things that, so we've got, Mel and I have got to hit the road and go to all these places where it happened. So that's what we're going to be doing. Besides messing with cameras. We're just about, I hope today we've finished our Mother's Day festivities. We've gone out to a Mother's Day breakfast. We've gone to a Mother's Day dinner, and I'm just about dinnered out. That being said, I'll make sure it's all done before I can get out there because let me tell you, it's a beautiful day. Out of all the rain, all the crap we've had here, it is a beautiful day outside right now. And I'm dying by degrees to climb onto that motorcycle. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, we do need more subscribers, everybody. We need 1,000 so we can do more. And, you know, when we get to 1,000, we can live stream on our mobile. You know, we can do that on Facebook, but we can't do it on YouTube till we get 8,000 subscribers. So if you know anybody out there, hey, look, have them subscribe. I mean, we're going into the belly of the beast this summer. We're going to all these places that say they don't want us. Oh, yeah. And all these places where the profiling's happening. And our campaign, our Operation Pushback campaign, I promise you, uh, the the law enforcement officers, they really don't like looking kind of silly on YouTube. They really don't. Uh, they don't like it either when we chastise them. But you know, that's tough. It's our right to do it. It's our right to seek redress. And yeah, when we feel it's necessary, we will absolutely seek redress. We'll go in front of the courthouse, in front of City Hall, wherever we need to go to, just like we did in Waco 7 times during all the trials down there. Yeah. Remember when they put up the 3-foot fences around the courthouse? Yeah. Trying to copy Fort Worth. Now, the DA in Fort Worth successfully used fences, except their fences were about 6 foot high. So Waco goes up and puts a fence 3 foot high up. And of course, we made fun of it. And it's the kind of things they do to set a narrative. And, you know, to remember that is so important. And to expose it is so important, to expose the narrative. Because now it's being talked about everywhere, setting the narrative. I've seen it in movies. Yeah, a movie just not long ago. I've seen it everywhere where people are talking about the narrative. And let me tell you, it's happening with our federal government every day. I mean, the news media and the Democrats have been doing it against Donald Trump for 2 years now, trying to set a narrative. Most of it false. 99% of it false. All without ever looking at themselves. It just, Donald Trump drives them wild. But when I look at the other side of the aisle, I see one giant job-killing machine. Sorry about that, everybody, but it's the truth. It's the truth. It is one giant job-killing machine. And we're going to need those jobs if we're going to continue to let people flood into this country. And let me see. One other thing. Oh, yeah, my granddaughter, who is applying for a scholarship, she's studying to be an engineer. And so they're always putting in for these scholarships and stuff. But let me give you a hint. If you want to have a chance at a scholarship that's being passed out by, one of these big manufacturers, if you want to apply for a scholarship, make sure you check that you're a black woman. Yeah, your chances go up. Your chances rise exponentially. Oh, yeah. Even better, a gay black woman. Oh, yeah. Those are the key things that may get you a scholarship. Your student. But you don't have to be that. All you got to say is, I feel like a gay black woman. Or you might say, I'm in transition. Even though you may be a white male, hey, I feel like a gay black woman. I'm in transition. I mean, that's what they're saying nowadays. I'm just telling the truth here. Off of what we've seen when our grandkids go out there and fight for one of these scholarships when they do all kinds of extra work. And it goes for naught because they're not the right gender, they're not the right color, they're not the right this or that. You're not a member of the LBGTQXYZ. But then again, we have rich folks that can buy them their kids scholarships or into a certain college. They don't need the scholarship. They just want into a certain college, like Brown, one of the Ivy Leagues, you know, just saying. If you have some ideas, you want some things you want us to investigate, please let us know. We'll take a look at it. If you'd like to write an article and put it in texasbikerradio.org, please forward it. Oh, yeah. If you're a musician and you have a song you want to highlight, you might forward that to us too. We'll be glad to play it. Glad to give you kudos when it's really good. With that, everybody, this is Butch Popeye Moss. I'm tinkering around here in the studio, and I'm not just going to let you watch me tinker with the cameras and stuff. It's not that interesting. But I thought I'd say a few words to you, being as I'm here. And I'm waiting for the next Mother's Day adventure. Wherever it is we might go. Wherever it is my wife decides she wants to go. It'll probably be shopping, which I hate. If it doesn't have to do with two wheels, I don't like it. But I digress and I endure to keep the savage beast happy. Oh, yeah, on this Mother's Day. And I hope you're happy on this Mother's Day. With that, everybody, have a great day and ride safe.